Thanks for attending today. This is Managed Design, hosted by Bluebeam. For those of you that aren't familiar with us, we are a Bluebeam Platinum partner and an Autodesk Gold partner. We're really excited to show you Review 12 today. And if you have any questions, our contact information is on the screen. And we will answer any questions after the presentation. And this will be recorded if you are interested in watching it afterwards. And here's your host, Aaron Cordy.
Thank you very much, Desi, and welcome everybody to the What's New in Review 12 with Managed Design webinar. As you said, I'm Aaron Cordy here, an industry specialist at Bluebeam Software. Been here for about 3 years. Prior to that, I was in the construction industry for another 3 years, and actually in civil engineering design before that. So quite familiar with the AEC industry. It's just Desi and I today. Feel free to go ahead and make use of that questions box in the interface of GoToWebinar. I'll be able to answer those questions at the end of the webinar for you. So stick around. If you have some questions afterwards, we'll make sure to answer everything for you. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right into Review 12. This webinar is going to make the assumption that everybody that's attending has already seen Review previously, has some sort of knowledge of the software, has played with it, used it, and you understand what we're trying to do in terms of a PDF solution built specifically for AEC customers. So today we want to focus on the new features of Review 12. And again, we can go ahead and stick around afterwards and talk about some of the, other functionality outside of Review 12, just what's built into Review. So every year we look for unique opportunities to debut our new release and highlight the innovative ways in which our customers are using Review. Since Review 12, features make it even easier to get documents field ready. It's only appropriate for us to head out into the field and introduce Review 12 to all of you. Again, just a little bit about Bluebeam. For more than a decade, we've been developing innovative software solutions that enable professionals to collaborate digitally, with our ultimate goal being that we want to help our customers do what they do, but better. It's not about changing the way you guys work. It's about enhancing it and trying to get you guys worked on more effectively than you previously did. As a company, we continue to play a central role in AEC, oil and gas, and other technical industries. Bluebeam Revu has really become the industry standard as we focus on providing smart, simple solutions that facilitate digital workflows, even such as design reviews, bids, estimates, RFIs, submittals, field inspections, site management, punch, closeout, and more. And those of you that are familiar with the software have probably used our features specifically for that. Now, with each new release, we typically have a theme, and this year's theme is field ready, anywhere, anytime. And in Review 12, we're introducing, the new features here. So we now have a SketchUp Pro plugin to create 3D PDFs. That was a popular request of our customers saying, oh, these 3D PDFs are great. Can we go ahead and build some 3D PDFs from SketchUp Pro? It's now available in Review 12. AutoMark 2.0. With Review 11, we introduced AutoMark, which allowed our customers to automatically generate page labels and bookmarks. But you guys said that you wanted to create page labels and bookmarks from multiple regions, such as the drawing title and sheet number. So now with Review 12, you can create page labels and bookmarks from multiple regions, and even add things like prefixes, suffixes, etc. And also new with AutoMark 2.0 is that the sheet does not need to be OCR'd to go ahead and make use of the information. Sets 2.0. You were all really excited when we introduced Sets in 11.0, but you asked us for even more navigation capabilities. With Sets 2.0, you can utilize the navigation buttons to page up and page down, or go to the next and previous sheets. You can also add hyperlinks that automatically redirect to the latest revision. And last but not least, Sets also allows you to add files into a studio project. Now, batch link. Batch link is probably the crown jewel of Review 12. If you guys have seen any videos about Review 12 so far, everybody walks away talking about batch link. It's only available in Review Extreme, so look for that in the Review Extreme Edition if you guys are curious about this feature here. The ultimate question here is how many of you are manually creating hyperlinks? If you're manually creating them, you know how time-consuming that can be. But it's a great benefit to being able to navigate your drawings organically. Batch link automates the process of creating complex navigational hyperlinks between documents from a mix of different sources, and will allow you to create hundreds, if not thousands, of hyperlinks with just a couple of quick clicks of a button. It's a very powerful feature. Measurement tool enhancements. Revu 12 also offers quite a few measurement enhancements, such as being able to calculate length, area, volume, and wall area in a single measurement. And now you can also calibrate for both the horizontal and vertical scales. So for your civil engineering customers that need to see a different scale on the X and Y axes, that's now available in Revu 12. Smart Group. You can view each element in a group within the markups list and make edits without having to ungroup them. Typically, when you group an object, it becomes a static, kind of dumb sort of object. Now it retains all that metadata, all that information. You can edit that group much easier than you could previously. Capture. For those of you that are doing punch lists, many of you are adding quite a few images to your PDFs and ask for a way to associate all of your photos with a single markup. You can now do that with the capture feature. Very powerful. All right, some other quick things to go over. Studio enhancements. There have been a number of variety of studio enhancements, such as allowing administrators to grant full access to trusted attendees. That was a big request. You can now browse the files stored in Studio projects through Revu's document management toolbar. Again, a really great way to manage your documents. Just it's a little more streamlined now. Static XFA support. PDFs containing static XFA technology can now be viewed, filled out, and saved. Previously, that was a proprietary file format to Adobe, so you no longer have to worry about form support when using our software. Reduced file size had a large upgrade. It's been totally revamped and improved for performance, and also has a new user interface to make life a little bit easier for everybody. OCR Plus, it's now been enhanced for improvements specifically for large format drawings. And then we even have some header and footer enhancements. And with that being said, let's just go ahead and let's see Revu 12 in action. So I'm going to hit escape on my keyboard here, and I'm actually in the Bluebeam interface currently. Now, as you guys know, everything that you expect to see in Revu is available up here, your file, edit, view, documents, markups, all right here, nice, clean, simple interface. Now, just because I'm from the construction industry, I'm going to switch my profile here to construction, because I personally prefer to have a little bit more complex interface with a lot of the tools I use on a regular basis. So the interface, again, is fully customizable, and you can go ahead and adjust it however you would like. So let's talk about the first feature of Revu 12 that we went over, and that is the SketchUp Pro plugin. So let me go ahead and navigate to some demo docs. And here's SketchUp. Let's go ahead and pick up the Pasadena City Hall right here and open up the SketchUp project. So start using it. And we will let SketchUp load, and here it is. So you guys that are familiar with SketchUp, you are familiar with all the tools and functionality of this. By, like I said, popular request, people ask for a way to create 3D PDFs from SketchUp. So if you go to File, Export as a 3D model here, the key thing to do is down here in the drop-down window, select Bluebeam PDF right there. I'll just save this file to my desktop, and let's go ahead and export it. So this is taking all that geometry, all the colors, whatever information that's inside that SketchUp model, and creating it to a 3D PDF. And there we have it. You can see we've got this 3D PDF now. Put this into spin mode for my view, just like so. And you have your standard tools that you expect when you're working with markups in the 3D PDF. So I can say Revise Dome. Again, Revu is the first PDF solution to allow our customers to mark up a 3D PDF. That's a markup indicator down there. If I click on that, it should go right back to that last view that says Revise Dome. Let's go ahead and open up my 3D model tree here. And you can see that we do recognize the different information in this model. So if I go into this geometry and open this up a little bit, I can even choose to select all my trees. And let's go ahead and turn Translate on so I can move all these trees up if I would like. So working in these 3D PDFs is much more powerful. No changes really here, but feel free to coordinate and collaborate on your 3D PDFs. And now create the 3D PDFs from SketchUp. I'm going to go ahead and delete out of here, and I'll also close SketchUp. And let's jump in and talk about the next few workflows here. So let's go back up here and see AutoMark 2.0, I think is the next topic we want to cover. So with AutoMark 1.0, you guys should be familiar with using a single combined set of documents. So this is how most of our customers receive their PDFs from architects or whoever they're working with. And it creates one PDF with multiple sheets attached, like you see here. Now, standard practice in the AEC industry has become splitting up each individual page to its own separate PDF. This is done for multiple reasons, including file size, so you can just navigate things faster, security precautions, so if the file gets corrupt, you only lose one sheet, not all of your sheets. If you have an engineer that needs to work on the architectural sheets, and another one working on the structural sheets, for separate files, they can do that simultaneously. It's one combined document, or you're limited to one user modifying this PDF. So let's talk about AutoMark and how to make this a little faster. Some organizational skills that we have here is typically you go through here and you would type A000 to match the sheet title right here, and I have to go in here and continue to add more information to include the title sheet and all the information in this legend here. I have to do that for each individual page. It takes quite a while. And this is where AutoMark enters the picture. So I will go ahead and say create page labels by clicking that button. And I like to define a page region. So down here, since I know that the drawing number is located in this bottom right-hand corner, for each individual page, I'm going to select that as a region to automatically label this. Let's add a new region here. And I'd also like to see the drawing title. Maybe add another underscore, and we'll put VCTC as our suffix. Now, we're going to go ahead and apply this to all 35 pages. And if you notice over here on the left window, it's just labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and hit OK, and let Revu do its job real fast. And it's gone through and automatically labeled each one of these sheets. A100 site plan, A201 construction level plan 01. So we've labeled every single one of these sheets with literally just a couple of quick clicks versus having to take an intern and having them go manually enter all this information. So that's step one. Let's go ahead and label this so it's nice and easy for us to use. Now, we'll talk about sets and breaking this document apart. So let's talk about breaking this document apart. Like I said, it's common industry practice for us to take these PDFs and extract them as separate individual files. So let's take all of these and extract them as separate files. Number of options here, I'm going to have them extract as separate files. I'm going to use the page label that we just created to name those files. And let's hit OK. And I will send them to my extracted project sheets. And let's go ahead and overwrite whatever is existing. And let's take a look at what that looks like. So extracted project sheets here, there you have it. So I was able to take that combined set of documents, label them quickly, and extract them all as individual PDFs with literally in 1 minute. I've done more talking than I have clicking. So this is great. A lot of our customers love this concept of being able to quickly break these up, but they kind of wanted their cake and eat it too. They said, well, these are separate files, but can we view them as if it was a single combined document? This is where we introduced sets. So if I go up here to sets and open that up, let's create a new set. And I'm going to go ahead and add those files that we just created. And we'll select all these documents here. So I'd like to take these individual PDFs and view them as if it was a single combined document, even though it's not. It's just going to make it a little easier, kind of like being in a plan table, flipping those sheets into the same sort of workflow. Now, we also like to include revision tracking, and how we slip sheet documents. So I'm going to go through here and check some advanced options. I like to, my revision field should be by file name. Now, we have made the assumption that we will go ahead and every single revision that comes out, or change order, or SI, whatever it might be, we're going to add a suffix of _rev and then give it a number. That naming sequence has to be consistent here. Now, other things I like to do is just, if it's an old document, I want it to be very, very clear that it's an old document, so I want to see a nice big cross out here, and it will stack the file. So now this is all my setup options for my addenda tracking. Let's go ahead and add some addendums into this for me. So here's some revisions. We'll add these Rev 1, Rev 2 sheets here for a number of different PDFs. Include that in my set here. And let's hit OK. So review has gone through here, and it's actually taken these separate individual PDFs. These are separate files, and now I'm viewing them as if it was a single combined document. Now, what's new in Review 12 is the ability to go through here and navigate previous page and next page by using these buttons down here at the bottom. If I can go to the last page pretty quickly. I can go to the first page pretty quickly. So that's just a much easier way to view your guys' documents by navigating in that bar by itself. That was not available in the last version of Review. You can also go through here if you don't prefer to see this in like a thumbnails tab as I'm showing. If you prefer to see it in more of a more like a bookmark kind of tab, you can go ahead and do that and navigate these just by bookmarks as well. So another very popular request from our customers. Let's go back to that thumbnails tab and take a look at one of these sheets, A201. When I click on it, you can see that it's the latest revision, Rev 2, right here. Now, if I click on this little blue arrow that's shown right directly to the left of the sheet title, I can actually go back. And you see that there's this big cross out here. If I click on that, I see I'm not viewing the most current information, but this is Rev 1 right here. I can see the history of this document. I can even go back and see the original permit set. So this will keep a running track, a running history of your guys' document set. Think of your as-builts and having access to all the information built out together just for a simple click. You don't have to go open up files individually. It's all built within the set. This is also now fully compatible with Studio projects. If you guys are familiar with Studio, I can open up Studio over here. There's two different aspects of Studio. Studio Sessions here allows for real-time collaboration. It's up to 500 people marking up the same PDF in real time together. Studio Projects allows me to go ahead and upload any type of information I would like to a project and share it with others. Studio Project has unlimited data storage. You can go ahead and upload PDFs, AutoCAD files, Excel spreadsheets, whatever file format they would like. And it's a simple checkout process. Make your edits, check it back in. It keeps a running revision history of things. So previously, sets did not work in Studio Projects, but now the set, you can go ahead and share those sets, upload them to the project, and give your customers, consultants, subcontractors access to the set that you just built out for them, so they also have access to the latest information. Okay, so that is Sets 2.0. Let's go ahead and talk about the next piece. So this is a great way to navigate your files and documents and see everything, like I said, the history of the project. But we have a lot of customers that are hyperlinking their documents that want to view this in a much more organic way. So let's go ahead and do that. So the old way to do this was we'd go up here and find our markup and our hyperlink tool. And if I wanted to hyperlink site plan A100, I would have to draw a little field over that, go and navigate, and open up and find that particular sheet. Here's my site plan, open. Okay, and I just created one hyperlink as you see here, but I've got at least 35 on this one sheet. And on the next sheet I might have another 35, the next sheet might have another 50, whatever it might be. So I can create these hyperlinks pretty quick. If I'm moving fast, I could probably do this in maybe 8, 9, 10 hours, maybe a couple of days if I'm not moving so fast. So it's kind of a long process. But the idea is if I see this particular symbol here, it says A100, click on that and it opens up that sheet for me. So it's a much more organic way to view these documents. We have customers that want to do this and not just hyperlink the title sheet, as you can see here, but every single detail callout in this project. This is where we introduce Batch Link, one of my favorite features. Again, only available in Review Extreme. So I can go to File, Batch. Let's go ahead and link. So I'm currently working in a set, so I'd like to hyperlink my current set right here. And let's go ahead and select a region to go ahead and create our source for what to look for and what to hyperlink to. So again, I know in every single sheet down here in the bottom right-hand corner, I'm going to have the drawing number. So A000, A100, A201, etc. I want to use this region on each page to go ahead and define my hyperlinks. So when I hit this Generate button, it's going to search my current set, and it's gone through there. And it says, okay, every time I see A201 in this entire project, anytime it sees A201, go ahead and hyperlink it to page 1 in sheet A201, construction plan level, et cetera, et cetera. Same thing. Every time it sees A300, go ahead and add a hyperlink to that page. Now let's just do a couple of link options here. I'd like to make my links visible for everybody so we can see what it looks like. Let's make it this kind of a blue color. Hit OK. And now I'm going to hit Run. So Review is going through here and searching the entire project for all of these text boxes and actually creating hyperlinks to each one of these particular sheets. And it's done already. You can see I've created 172 hyperlinks. It's overwrote at least 38 of them. So let's hit Finish and Close. And you can see I've got a lot more hyperlinks here added. So if I zoom in, and let's take a look at A201. That opens that up for me. Okay, let's go on down, and okay, it's got an elevation view, A300. Let's click on that. It opens up A300 for me. Fantastic. Let's see, okay, there's a cross-sectional cut here for A700. Let's take a look at that. This is the power of Bash Link. It allows you to hyperlink your documents easily, to navigate them much more effectively, and if you can go ahead and take this, put it on an iPad, put it on a tablet, take it out to the field, and you are literally walking with the power of all of your construction documents in hand, easily to digest, literally all within a single computer. So that is Batch Link. I hope people's jaws just dropped because it's an incredibly powerful feature. Again, only available in Review Extreme. So let's go ahead and talk about the next subject here. And that next subject, I believe, is measurement tool enhancements. So if I go to my File Access tab and open up some measurements, here it is. Let's talk about a few of these new measurements that are available in Review 12. Couple new things. So because I'm working in measurements, I'm going to go ahead and just switch my profile to my takeoff profile. It's opened up my measurements tab over here on the right side. It's giving me a lot of my measurement capabilities here along my toolbar. And the very first thing we want to do before we start measuring anything is we want to calibrate the scale. So let's go down here and calibrate. I know that between these 2 points, between here and here, is exactly 6 foot 8 inches. If you pay attention to the scale area right here, when I hit OK, it will go ahead and automatically update that for me. So let's just go ahead and double check. Make sure I'm drawing to scale from here to here. And okay, I think we're all in agreement that I'm now drawing to scale in this document. So let's go ahead and talk about a few of these new features. What's new to Review 12 is I can go through here and actually we have new geometric center out radius measurements. So before we get to create 3 separate points, but what if I was curious about turning radius for ADA compatibility for any room? I can now just create a 3-foot radius and double check this room. And it looks like it's not quite good enough in there. We might have to move that sink over a little bit, that door swing. But I can check for ADA compliance right there. So that center out radius is brand new. For those of you that are in construction, I think a good workflow is talking about center of radius for a crane. So if I've got a 100-foot length for my crane, you can see exactly where that crane needs to be located. How many times I have to move this crane? It looks like I have to move it at least once, maybe twice, or get 2 separate cranes. Good way to go ahead and start to plan out the logistics of your job. Other measurement enhancements. Small measurements. So for those estimators that were working with small measurements, if they went through here and they created a length measurement and they wanted to figure out the length from here to here, it used to be a jumble of text and arrows and you couldn't really see anything. With Review 12, it makes these nice clean arrows kind of pointing from outside pointing in, and it makes it just much easier to digest. You can also move the text here to a totally separate area. It draws a line to exactly where that measurement is located. Feel free to rotate it as well. We can now create small measurements and really get to some very detailed data, and the measurements will look nice and clean and much more professional than they did previously. Other things in terms of new to Review 12 for measurements, let's go ahead and just do a lineal run. So this is 27 feet 6 inches. Maybe it's a wall or a partition we're thinking about putting here. So Review previously did not include any sort of depth with our tools unless you are using the volume command. Well, with Review 12, we've now inherently included depth to all of our measurement tools. So if I go through here and I click on this and say I'd like to turn on all measurements, it will actually show me the wall area for this measurement as well. And this is defined, again, by this depth. So if I change this depth to 10 feet, we'll go ahead and update the wall area for me. So for you painters out there that would need to estimate how much paint is going in a room, really great tool for you guys. The other new thing here is that wall area is also now a standard calculation. This is part of our basic drop-downs for wall area. It's now included in the review. You no longer have to go build that measurement yourself. It's just inherently included in here. So for people trying to do more vertical takeoffs, we tried to include the depth and the wall area command just for you guys to make life a little bit easier. Okay. Am I missing anything for measurements? Not quite yet, but let's go ahead and talk about civil. I did mention the ability to break out scale. So you can see I've got a civil document here, and we've got a roadway or a train that we're building, high-speed rail, and we've got two separate scales. So we can now go ahead and split the scale right here. Let's calibrate my X scale first. And I can see that from here to here is 100 feet. Hit OK. And let's calibrate that Y scale at the same time. From here to here is 10 feet. Okay, we've got two separate different types of scales here. Now we always want to go through and make sure we are drawing to scale. All right, 24 feet. I think we can all agree. Now for the civil customers, if I wanted to get a length of this line, it was literally impossible to do that previously due to the difference in scales. So let's actually go ahead, and now that we've calibrated them properly, I can go select from here to here and figure out exactly how long that line is. It's 591 feet. Yep, exactly. So we can now get true measurements even if you have scales in separate axes. Okay, back to my estimation sheet right here. Let's talk about measurements just a little bit more. If I want to go down here and maybe only see, pardon me, if I want to turn my filter on and only see my count measurements or just hardwood flooring, you can see that down here in the markups list only shows me my hardwood flooring, but I can actually see the whole nested group of objects. Previously, you would not see each one of these individual objects. This is where smart groups come into play. But the new feature for Review 12 in terms of measurements is being able to create a CSV summary. That CSV summary now includes totals. So previously, you'd have to see every individual separate measurement that you made in here and kind of tell these up yourself in the Excel file. If I hit OK and just put this on my desktop, it should just give me one line item for all of my hardwood flooring and shows the total length, total area, total cost of it versus seeing each individual markup in there. Because ultimately what it comes down to you need to know the total cost of all your hardwood flooring, not each individual section. Take this information, upload it to your guys' estimation software, however you guys would like to leverage that information, but the ability to create that report for totals is what's new in Review 12. All right, I've been kind of hinting around smart groups. Let's go ahead and talk about that just in a little bit more detail. So if I'd like to, I can go down here and find my hardwood flooring, as we saw a moment ago, and take my resilient flooring. And let's go ahead and group these two objects together. So these are already built into a group. I'd like to take them even further and nest them into a separate group. So take all of those, including my hardwood flooring here, and let's just right-click and group that, and we'll call this all flooring. Now under here you can see, here's my resilient flooring, here's my hardwood flooring, and again, I no longer have to ungroup to actually change things. So I can take this particular material and change it to cherry, and make this one walnuts, and change these to linoleum A, and linoleum A here, and notice how it is updating the costs. And again, I can go ahead and export this as a total and see my total cost of flooring so far is $28,119. Previously, there's no way for me to go ahead and adjust each one of these sub markups in this group. I'd have to explode that markup, that group, and change everything by itself and then regroup it. The metadata would have been lost. So groups are much smarter than they once were. So feel free to go ahead and apply it to your guys' current workflows. It should be very helpful for your estimators and people that are trying to group objects and make life a lot more simple. Let's talk a little bit about punch list. Punch list. So we've all seen punch list before. And to demonstrate that, let's go ahead and change my profile to punch, because I got a lot of tools here I like to use for my punch list. So what we typically do is we go down here, and if we're doing a punch in a room, we would click on this and say wall finish is not smooth here. The door magnet does not work right here. The trim is damaged over here. And away we go. But we have people actually adding pictures in here at the same time. So they would take this damaged wall picture and include it here, just like so, draw an arrow to it, and then maybe add another image here of the ceiling not looking correct, and maybe add another picture like that and say that's where it is in here. And you can notice how these pictures can get very cluttered, especially if I'm doing this for multiple rooms. So we tried to include a new tool called Capture to take all this information, this kind of workflow here, and allow our customers to embed a photo gallery of issues or whatever they would like into the markups. So if I go ahead and click on this particular markup here, I'd like to add a photo to that. So I can right-click and select Capture, and I can go ahead and select that Capture from File. So I took some pictures while out in the field, and these are the pictures I'd like to add. Let's go ahead and hit Open. And you'll notice that there's a little camera symbol that pops up for this markup. You can see that there's a camera symbol right here. If I click on that, it opens up that photo gallery for that markup in that room. So you're out in the field with an iPad or with a field-ready tablet PC. You can even go through here and choose to add photos right there. Or go ahead and leverage your own webcam. Hi, everybody. And use that, and now you got this creepy looking guy here, but added right into a capture set. So you no longer have to go through here and kind of do that messy process of adding a lot of photos to it. You can go ahead and attach them right to your markups, just like so. So let's go ahead and apply a filter here and only take a look at my carpentry. And now, something to note is that Capture is actually outside of the PDF ISO standard. So this function, they can only click on this button and see that photo gallery, is if they're currently using a Bluebeam software, Bluebeam Revu, Revu iPad, or Bluebeam View. So if they're using another PDF software, they're not going to see this little camera pop up. They're not going to see those pictures. So how do we mitigate that? How do we still share that information? Well, like most other things that I would suggest is create a summary for that customer or for that client or subcontractor, whoever it might be. So let's create a PDF summary here, dependent to my current PDF. We'll just call this Punch. However I sort and filter this information is exactly how that report will come across. I like to see it. I can choose a flow table, a flow style or a table style. Let's hit OK. It's going to take all this information, again, whatever columns I have turned on, turned off, however I've sorted it and filtered it, it's exactly how that report is going to come across. And here it is. Here's my punch list. You can see, okay, in Zone A, the door magnet at stop is not working well. Oh, look, here are some pictures for that room. So you can see the pictures embedded for that room so they can figure out what exactly the issues are with that particular markup that you placed there and how to go about fixing it. Now notice how it doesn't tell me exactly which room it's in. I haven't gone through and defined my space so it's that clear yet. But that's not a problem. This is actually a hyperlink right here. So if I click on this, it jumps to the exact location of that particular markup, and I can see it's in this restroom right here. And it's very, very clear where these issues are. And that is captured for you guys. A couple of other housekeeping things before we let you go. We want to let you guys get out of here early, enjoy your lunch. So let's talk about just a couple of quick things. I did discuss XFA support is now, static XFA forms are now supported, so you don't have to worry about opening forms, any sort of form anymore. You should now be able to open those things. Reduce file size, been totally revamped. So if you go to Documents, Process, and Reduce File Size, you've got a much easier interface here. It's a simple slider bar, and that's really a difference between quality and compression. You can see that I can compress things, get 349% reduction in size, but it's going to come at a cost of quality. And I can go ahead and choose to retain my quality here, but it's not going to have as much compression. So much simpler in terms of for the average user. For those that want a lot more power out of it, go ahead and hit Edit. And you can go ahead and really get down to the details if you prefer. Again, if you're using Revu Extreme, you have OCR available to you. And what's new here is this is now optimized for CAD drawings. This is the new particular drop-down here. So you'll notice that this will be run a lot faster in your guys' CAD drawings. It's not going to go ahead and rasterize any of that data. It's going to be nice, crisp, clear data. So a lot of the issues that you guys may have recognized with OCR previously, it's been totally rewritten, a lot cleaner, a lot faster, more powerful for you guys. With that being said, let's go back to my particular slide deck here. And let's open this up for any questions after Desi goes ahead and gives us some closing comments here.
Thank you so much for everyone who attended. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to call us or email us. If you don't have Revu currently, you can download it on our website. If you go to the index page, there's a big Bluebeam button, and it will take you to our Bluebeam page where you can download the trial and look at all the features and the differences between the software. And again, just thank you so much for attending today, and give us a call. Thank you.
Thank you again, everybody. We'll stick around for a little bit and answer any questions that may pop up. Again, have a great lunch, and we'll talk to you guys soon.